All right. Good day, interwebs. Matt Carter here for another Carter's Commentaries. Um, been in a groove of doing these on Fridays, and this week just kind of laid to, I knew I was going to do it Sunday after service. So the idea I thought I was going to use, which um, was out of Matthew 20 and denarius and getting paid and how life isn't fair, got changed this morning. Pastor Kelly started a sermon for us this week out of the book of James. And we're going to spend a few weeks on Jesus's half brother, who I thought I was kind of interesting, lived among them, but wasn't a believer till after the resurrection. But as I've referenced before, and I usually old school it, take in paper Bible instead of relying on the app exclusively, and I like it for the notes, and I know you can do it with the app, and I do love technology and rely on it, but always interesting to revisit when you go back into your book and see notes from previous maybe readings or meditation or prayer time or sermons, and you've jotted notes, and that happened this morning. So James is a book I've had the privilege and honor to be asked to speak at a few funerals through the years, and I tend to reference a couple of verses out of the beginning of James, and those were part of our sermon today. Is where we're going to be challenged. James 1, 2. Verse 2 starts it, and where we get challenged, and it builds perseverance. But so I know a few of you may be watching have maybe seen or heard me speak at a funeral, and those are the verses that I like to go to, because I know what the challenges of losing someone very important to me at a very young age. My father passed when I was 12, so I had obviously some challenges as a young man. God bless my mother, who for even before my father passed, he was very, very ill. So from the time I was about 6 till about 16, she in essence was a single mom. If you know my story, you know a little more of the details, but mom kept it all together. And I don't know how, testament to her. But I know what that challenge did for me. It sucked, yet it bore out a lot of character that mom helped shape, along with some family and friends that helped guide along the way. And so the note that I had this morning that was in there at the beginning of James, and I'll kind of throw my good book up there. I think I can see it on the screen okay, but right there at the beginning of James is something I jotted a few years ago, I'll presume, but says, "I'm mature with hard times." And I don't know what your hard times are going. I loved how sermon this morning really kind of invigorated my thoughts along those lines, because you can always look in your life at some time where there were some hard times. And for example, I'll use my challenges of starting to have anxiety attacks and PTSD symptoms. And at the time, it sucked mule farts. Hated where I was at and where my headspace was. But looking backwards on how challenging 2010 was for me on a personal, professional, and physical health, mental health. But what it did is it turned me, God used all of that. And there were a lot of elements that contributed to where I was in that headspace in 2010, basically my whole life. So God used all of that to turn me into something more than I was before. And I often, when I share my story about mental health, I try to share that it's because so few want to talk about it, that it's given me an avenue and a platform the good Lord put me on as another calling within that field of being a first responder, and it made me my voice give a whole lot of purpose. So all of that was something that God gave out of me based off of challenges that he had put me through all the way up to that point. So whatever challenges you're going through, there is a purpose in that. And you can't always see it. You can't always feel it. You don't, sometimes it feels helpless, but know that the good Lord offers that hope. And that's part of what James is saying here, is that when you look at 2, is consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And verse 4 is, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And that's it. We are a work in progress, ladies and gentlemen. We are being matured. We are being completed until that last moment on earth when we finish whatever tasks God has put on us, his purpose for us, and then he'll call us home. So persevere. That's my message for you this week in my commentary, is to persevere. Know that those challenges are dulling sharp edges that need to be dulled, and sharpening up edges that were soft and imprecise, and that God's making you into what he needs you to be for a moment you may not see yet, but it's coming. And that, even with helpless feeling, is the hope that God puts on us. So I hope you have a great week. Hope you get something out of these when you come and watch. Know that you're loved. The good Lord loves you, which is most important of all. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Be safe, be well, be blessed.